Manuj.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, very good.
Thank you so much for saying yes to the interview today. My name is Nicolette. I am the creator for the podcast titled You're Worthless. Read that again. The juxtaposition of your very soul. Well, I want to say when I read your profile, it is about AI and he is Asian and I can relate to him. So I have to get him on my show. So thank
Mhm.
you for saying yes to the interview today. So as part
Absolutely.
of a ritual of my podcast, I would like to read a bit of an introduction for all our listeners today, and then we can get right into business.
Okay.
All right. So, hey everyone, we have Manuj Aggarwal here with us. He was a factory worker who went from $2 a day to the boardrooms of Fortune 500. Today, he is a global thought leader in startups and AI, an elite technology consultant, and a business mentor. So, some of his notable achievements: President Obama and Bill Gates have made special mentions of an education technology he delivered. Miami-Dade, I hope I pronounced that correctly, the second
Yeah.
largest college in USA has listed him among the leading experts in AI, recognized as one of the top 500 global thought leaders in AI and startups by Brains magazine. His technology projects have impacted the lives of 10 million people, and he's got 4 patents in artificial intelligences and is an author of 2 books on technology. Wow. So besides technical expertise, he has a deep knowledge of human psychology and neuroscience. So this certainly gives him an extra edge. Welcome, Manuj.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack. So before we get right into it, can you share with us what was it like growing up as Manuj Aggarwal?
Well, it was a challenging life for sure, without a lot of opportunity or resources. It was, India back then, I'm talking about like 30 years ago, it was a developing country. And it was, I grew up in a family where there was a lot of conflict every day. And so, I basically became quite introverted just because, I didn't have a lot of friends and all that. But on the contrary, the friends I did have, we always had fun, and we were always, going out, getting in trouble. But I enjoyed my life thoroughly as much as I could with the situation I was in. It was fun life for sure. I cannot take back any moment out of it for sure.
Yeah, because those experiences are the ones that made us who we are today, right? And I
Correct, correct.
love reading stories about people who came from nowhere and then, because of the sheer uh determination that you want to make your life better or the lives of those people around you, this has gotten to where you are right now. So I love it. So Manuj, can you this is the question that I have. And also I think the question that even though people in the world right now have thought that okay, AI is the next thing. Although AI has been there, so is AI going to take over humanity and take all of our jobs? Please clarify us. Please clarify that to us.
Okay, so there are two parts of that question. I'll order them, I'll answer them in two parts as well. So the first thing is, as you said, AI has been around since 1960s. Okay, so it's nothing new. And in order to answer your question, whether AI is going to take over our world, we just need to look at this interview that we are recording. You're sitting in the other part of the world. I'm sitting in this part of the world, and we are talking to each other in high definition video. How do you
Mhm.
think that is happening? There is an AI sitting behind the scenes that is making it happen. So if you take out your mobile device out of your phone, everything on that device is made by AI, influenced by AI, controlled by AI. So, if you have used GPS recently, so you are using AI already. If you have ordered anything online on Amazon or what have you, you are using AI because all these packages are delivered in warehouses which are controlled by AI. So this is a misconception that AI is going to take over the world, because it has
Yeah.
already taken over the world. Now, the second part of the question is it going to take away all our jobs? There's going to be job displacement, but there's going to be new opportunities created. So people who are going to upskill themselves, they will find much more fruitful jobs, much more fun jobs, much more creative jobs. Um, and people who do not embrace the technology, they are going to have a tough time. What I will say is, AI is not going to take away anybody's job. Somebody who knows AI will take away their job.
Now, you mentioned something very powerful there. Jobs will be displaced. So, does that mean that any Jones and Janes out there right now should be getting on the boat of upskilling or reskilling themselves in the space of AI?
Absolutely, no question about it. Absolutely. So I'll
Really?
give you, yeah, I'll try to explain it in this way, right?
Okay.
So in 1995 was the year when I logged into the internet for the first time. All right. So I was, I think I was like a teenager then. And in 1998, I was applying for an entry level job. That was my first job ever. And in 1998, if I did not have an email address and a Word resume, I could not apply for an entry level job. Okay. So in 3 years, the world had changed so much that I went from, logging into the internet for the first time to not being able to apply for a job in 3 years. But now the innovation is happening exponentially faster. Every day, the AI is actually bringing out new tools, new technologies. So you can imagine, if you don't start using AI today, what will happen in a year, 2 years, 3 years time frame, right?
So, like for me, okay, I have dipped my toes in AI for a bit. In terms of checking what are the courses out there that I can upskill or reskill myself with. So, what about your advice to students or people of any ages? How should they get into the AI to know more? I mean, is it listening to podcasts? Is it really going into Coursera and start scrolling? What do you think?
So, okay, so if somebody has ever learned to ride a bike, they will never learn how to ride a bike by going to Coursera or listening to podcasts.
That's a good
Okay,
one. That's a good
so
one.
the only way to learn is to actually do it. So my advice is, look at what you're doing day to day and then start using these tools, get familiar with them, see what they help with, what they don't help with, find out where you can multiply your skill set by using multiple tools. For example, let's say, I just use a simple example. Let's say I want to make videos for online social media presence. So in the past, you had to have a copywriter, you had to have a videographer, you had to have a video editor, you had to have like a social media manager. A lot of these skill sets or people need to come together to make one video. But today you can use AI to generate a script, use AI to generate the video, use AI to generate edit the video, use AI to like post it. So you can start to see how you can combine these functionalities. Not only that, but uh, if you are a young person, a student, or even if you have a job right now, the key skill sets will be also to see how you can combine multiple fields of study. For example, um, uh, you know in the past, you only had an opportunity to go deep into one topic. So let's say you are studying accounting. So
I did.
let's say, okay, so you know a lot about accounting, and you can gain a lot of depth looking at accounts and numbers and figures. But how do you explain it to the client? How do you get more information about how you can save them taxes? How can you create a financial strategy for them? So these are separate areas of financial knowledge. Some people have as a specialization, but what if you can acquire those skills and enhance your ability to charge even more money to your clients? So so the and there are many diverse fields you can combine, like again taking accounting for example. money is a very important part of life for everyone. But let's say somebody doesn't have a lot of money and they are losing money and they are stressed out. Now, as an accountant, you only can help them to keep their finances intact. But let's say you also use AI to acquire some, skills to counsel them,
Mhm.
just like understand their
Give them
situation and help
extra
them
advice.
therapeutic, it give them a little bit of
Yeah.
a therapy. Like how much more effective you will be in your job, because now they are not only getting financial services from you, they are actually getting a mental relief from the stress of their financial challenges, right? So,
Mhm.
so this is the kind of world is going to be formed where you can now start to remove the boundaries of what you can offer, what you can acquire as knowledge, what kind of service you can provide. You can really highly personalize your service to your skill set and to your clients' needs. Right?
I love it. So you're talking more about going the holistic ap- uh, approach, like providing something that you do well, but also complementing it with all the other
Correct.
knowledges that you
Correct.
have, and then giving it back to the world. I
Mm-hmm.
love it. Yes, because before it was just cast in stone. If it's just one knowledge, okay. Data, I don't know. Let me see. Medicine is just that medicine, but now it's
Exactly.
holistic.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, Manuj, in your introduction, I read about you having a deep knowledge in human psychology, and this is something that I am very, very, very interested in as well, and I've learned just in recent years. So, how can you use the power of your mind to achieve anything?
See, the idea is that everything that we do achieve is actually by the power of our mind, because whatever we think, whatever we want to achieve or we have achieved, it actually started in our mind first. We said, no, I would like to buy a car. And then you say, okay, in order to buy a car, I need to do certain things. I need to, make a certain amount of money. Okay, how do I do that? Now your mind starts to think, okay, I need to get this kind of job, or I need to start this kind of business. And then you start to put these things together, right? But imagine if you actually start using your mind to say, okay, I want to skip some steps here. I don't want to, like, figure out how to pay for it, how to, get a job and stuff. Like, just
I just
skip to
want the
the end.
car.
Yeah, I just want the car, right? Now,
Yes.
that sounds kind of like a fantasy, but here is the thing: when you start focusing your mind on certain things, and when you start meditating, when you start really going inside your mind. I'm not saying, if you start just dreaming about getting a car and tomorrow the car is going to appear, but you have to do the work in really understanding your mind and training your mind, meditating and all that. You will be surprised in how many ways life gives you what you want. It may not be in a way that you think conventionally you can.
Conventional way
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
thought
yeah.
about, okay, this is how it's gonna
Exactly.
arrive my
Yeah.
front yard.
So and here is a exercise I give you. Like, I work with a lot of people who are who want success. This is a small little exercise I give them to get them started. You can, let's say you want to achieve something, and I always suggest, when you're starting off with this exercise, think of something small. Let's say not getting a car, but let's say you want to go on a long drive or a picnic, or you want to go to a beach with your friends or something like that in the next 30 days. So you go to AI, ChatGPT, or any other chatbot, and you start to I'll ask the ChatGPT to describe in detail how will you feel when you are actually at the beach with your friends. What will be the weather like? What will you eat there? How will it taste like? Uh, whether you are going to walk on the beach, whether you're going to swim in the ocean, and put in this little description of what that picture looks like. Because what happens is that we all have these goals and we all have these dreams, but in our mind they are very vague, they are not very
Mm,
concrete. Okay, it's only
yeah.
that when we get there we start to experience it and say, I really like the beach.
I like
uh,
this feeling.
yeah, but the thing is that the feeling is all we are looking for. Actually, at the end of the day, anything that we do, we are actually looking for that emotion, that feeling. So it's just like if I start using a GPS and I say, take me anywhere, it's going to say, okay, what do you mean anywhere? Like, I'm going to take you in circles. But if you put in a specific address in the GPS, it will take 5 seconds and figure out, okay, this is how you get there, right? The same thing, your mind has a GPS to get you to your destination. But if you have a vague idea of what that destination feels like, then it's going to say, okay, I'm going to take you around in circles and someday we'll get there. But if
Yeah.
you use AI to plant these specific ideas, so if you go back to your story and ChatGPT is going to really give you a very detailed story of how it will feel like, you start to read it to yourself multiple times, and your mind will start to paint that picture very specifically, and these things start to happen in your life, and that's the power of your mind, enhanced by technology.
Yes, yes, that's the most important thing. Because how I'm relating to that is because by the time this episode will be released, I think I will be fully transitioned out from my corporate job, 9 to 5, and I'm entering into therapy and coaching practice myself. So I am in in the course that I took for hypnotherapies, actually, by Marissa Peer. She said your mind can imagine it. If you have this magic wand, how would your life look like? And when you only are exposed to certain things, you can only imagine so much, right? You want it to be like, and then often you hinge it on what you see other people have, either in social media or whatnot. But then when you said you go to ChatGPT and then you key in what you want, now ChatGPT can give all those things back to you, but you also have the power to change, to make the tweaks here and there. Truly, it is, you're still creating it yourself, but with the help of others. And if I want to infuse it again with spirituality, we truly are co co-creators, creators and co-creators of our life. So yes, thank you so much for that integration of the whole thing. Wow. Okay, now this is a different, we're going to a different trajectory. What is the importance of relationships in our lives?
Let's go back to our example of going to the beach, right? Like, so relationships are basically everything, because even if I say I want to go to the beach, I will have to talk to few people to get to the beach. Meaning, let's say if I have to, book a ticket, or I have to go by plane or bus or train, I have to talk to somebody to get that ticket. Or if I'm driving, I have to get some gas in my car, in my petrol in my car. Somebody will give it to me. That car that I will be driving, that was given to me somebody, who knows how to make cars and all that. So if you think about it, absolutely nothing in this world is possible on our own. Absolutely nothing. So everything is given to us by somebody else. Whether it's an exchange, like a transaction where money is exchanged, or whatever. Even our life is given to us by somebody else, right? So
Yeah.
so so now you can see why relationships are so important, because anything that we want is given to us by somebody else. And if we have a good relationship with them, it's much easier to get something from them. If we don't have a good relationship, or we don't know somebody, it's usually a transaction. But if we know somebody, we can say, hey, can you do me a favor, please? I would like to go to a beach. Can you drive me there? Or do you want to come with me, or what have you? These are very simple examples, but if you extrapolate it in a larger sense of your life journey, whatever your vision is to get there, you can imagine every step of the way you will need some help from somebody else. You are starting your coaching practice, so you will need some clients,
That's right.
and
That's
those
right.
clients are a relationship.
So I attended a conference just in March, and this speaker, he said something: quit doing success on your own.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop thinking that you can do it all. Reach out. You'd be surprised. Yes. What does meditation and AI have in common?
Yeah. See, I gave an example already that how you can really plant some seeds in your mind using AI. So meditation is similar. So our mind is composed of, like, at least two distinct parts. One is the logical conscious mind, and one is the emotional unconscious mind. Now, most people think logical mind is what is important and it sort of controls our lives and whatnot. But the fact is, only 5% of our conscious mind is responsible for our life. 95% of our life is controlled by unconscious mind. And unless and until you start meditating or start learning a little bit more about how the mind works, most people are not aware of this. And once you start meditating or doing exercises like yoga or tai chi or something like that, your mind starts to separate. It's like almost like a sticker. When you buy a sticker, you have to peel off the thing to make it sticky. Similarly, when you start to understand these two aspects of your mind, they start to separate, and your conscious mind can start to notice what is happening in your unconscious mind, what kind of emotions you are creating or feeling, what kind of what is the stimulus which is making you take certain actions in your life. Now with AI, as I described earlier, the process, I mean, I talk to a lot of people about meditation, but they, the usual response is, oh, it is too difficult, I am not, I don't have time, or my mind is too full of all these thoughts, I cannot sit straight. And then I tell them, okay, then if you don't have time, then maybe you should meditate for 1 hour rather than 20 minutes. But anyway, the idea is that if you
You ask
don't,
them to meditate for 1 hour, then 20 minutes.
it's a common joke. It's a common joke because
But
because yeah,
I
because
love it. I love
yeah,
it.
because the thing is people don't realize when you start meditating, you get your life back.
I
And
love it.
yeah.
Yes. Meditation. I am a living proof of that. Like, not doing anything is actually doing everything.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
you're so clear. Even though you're supposed to do before, it's like you have 5 or 10 to do lists in a day. But it's like today you're really tuning in. I just feel like I need to do one thing, and that's I'm okay with that. And then for all you know, the next day you finish the 9 things plus another 5, because you've gotten so clear in your head and you're aligned with your soul, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, sorry for cutting you
Yeah,
off.
yeah. No,
Manuj.
absolutely. You said it much better. So that's a joke. If somebody says I don't have time, then I say, okay, meditate 1 hour, because they're going to get so much time back, right? The other, so going further, when I started getting this kind of feedback from people that I don't have time, then I thought, okay, maybe there is a easier way, because let's face it, like, when Buddha was around or Jesus was around, when they came up with ancient Hindus or ancient Chinese traditions, to when they came up with all these traditions of meditation, they didn't have technology back then. But now with AI, the process I described, you can write a story and then read it to yourself, and that is meditation. It's like training your mind to think positive thoughts, training your mind to just imagine the future that you want. And if you just do what I just described, let's say you go to ChatGPT, get a 2,000 word storyline, record it in your voice, listen to it every day.
Beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, your life is going to change, like within, like, a week. You will feel meditation, the effects of meditation, even though you think you're not meditating, but you are actually meditating.
Yes. Wow. And to be honest, all the people who are leading corporates, businesses, one key common thing that they do is actually meditating. Like, I imagine myself like being an associate before, and then thinking like, okay, to get to the top, I need to do more. Like, already I'm here, mid management level, junior management level, I'm already dying. How are they doing it? And to be honest, this is actually one of the secrets, best kept secrets of the successful people. And yes, so guys, those that are listening, you don't have to go to, I don't know, a class to just meditate. Perhaps you could just sit still and be present and actually observe your thoughts. because I find this difficult myself. When I started this, I didn't know what it was. Just sitting with my own thoughts scares me. I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
run away. I wanted to scroll. I wanted to distract myself. Just not. But then actually it's the act of facing it. And once you do it so often, you will realize that actually solitude is the best thing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yes, yes. Wow, thank you so much, Manuj, for that explanation. Okay, so I know we talked a little bit about this just now, but then I just want to ask this question back so that our listeners can have more clarity. How can one achieve exponential growth in your life and business?
So I think, yeah, it's a sum total of what we just described so far, right? Getting clear in your mind about what you want. A lot of people say, I want to get to the top, or I want to earn $1 million, or
Mhm.
I want to be wealthy. Okay, so I say, okay, let's assume that I'm giving you $1 million in your bank account today. Okay, so now what?
Yes,
What are you gonna do?
I
And
love
they
it.
say,
Yes.
you know what, like, I'm going to buy a home, I'm going to buy a new car, I'm going to go on vacation. And I say, okay, so you still have money left over. They say, okay, I'm going to buy something nice for my kids, for my friends, and so on and so forth. And I say, okay, you still have money left over, what now? And they're like, after 3 4 steps, they're like, I don't know, I'll
I'm
just sit
stuck.
on the
Yeah.
beach. Yeah, I'll just sit, I'll do nothing, right? So the idea is that we, as you said, like, people have this notions of what that life looks like, but they
Mm.
don't have any clarity on why they need to go there. What are they going to do when they get there? What is it that they're actually seeking? So the
Mm-hmm.
first step is get clear on that. And this is another exercise we can do. There's a concept called ikigai. It's a Japanese
Oh,
concept. So
I
you're
love it.
familiar with it? Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so it's like a ancient concept, and the good thing is that when I study a lot of ancient wisdom and scriptures and all that, and combine that with the technologies like AI, it becomes very, very powerful. So ikigai is a concept where it can really help you in a very simple way to find your life purpose. And it takes into account, what does the world need, what you can get paid for. So it's not just finding your passion, but finding your passion that can really help you become more successful financially. So you can use the concept of ikigai and use AI to help you find that ikigai of yours. Now you get more clarity on what is it that you're looking for. Then you can use AI to say, okay, hey, AI, I now know what my life purpose is. My life purpose is to become a coach. Now tell me, how do I get there? And what are the steps needed? What are the strategies needed? What are the tactics needed every day that I need to do to get there? And then again, as I said earlier, you can start using AI to plant those ideas in your head. What will it feel like when you get there? So you can say, okay, in the next 1 year, I want to have 100 coaching clients. Okay, so what does that feel like? Hey, AI, tell me, what will it feel like when I have 100 clients? I will dedicate 3 hours a week to coaching them. Then I will take my kids to school. I'll pick them up. I'll make them, good food. Then we'll go for picnic, and or whatever comes to your mind. You start to explain it to AI and then use those stories, because here is the fundamental truth. Our life is basically just a story. The only thing that is that is true is the present moment. But
Oh,
but
yes.
everything else is a story. Everything else is a story.
That is
So
so true.
the
Yeah.
problem is we are not good storytellers, first of all, because we keep repeating the same thing over and over again in our head, and
Especially
that,
the negative ones.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's not a good storytelling, right?
Yeah.
Then even if we are good storyteller, we are, as you said, like, we keep using the negative ones. So now, if technologies like AI can help us become a better storyteller and pick the right stories to tell, then we are changing ourselves from inside out, not outside in.
Mm. Wow, I love how you're interlinking AI into spirituality, into meditation. I mean, into changing your beliefs, because it's no longer just having to go to therapy and then do this. You can actually reach out to technology such as AI. And when you said about, something, a light bulb just went on in my head when you said about the 100 clients, right, by next year. Prior to prior to this interview, I had an inkling about what my practice would look like, what's my niche. And then when you went into the feeling, right, I was envisioning, if I have 100 clients or more, or I don't know what number that is, how am I took it a step further. Although I can do it virtually, but if I want to create that connection with them, I could actually fly over, like group them. Let's say if I'm surveying Nora or Europe, I can group them there and have like a retreat. Huh. I never thought of it that way. I thought about, okay, having a global, I don't know, wellness thingy, like a thing. But then again, I can create it, because if my mind can picture it and get into that feeling, it is possible. So thank you, Manuj. You unlock something within me, and I am going to marinate, let that marinate, and then work on it from there. Wow, wow.
Yes, fair enough.
Thank you, Manuj.
That's
Okay,
great.
now my next question is, why is it important to travel? I guess it's to for that just now. I was just, yeah. This is me. Sometimes I connect things where we're talking and then I just blurt things out. So yes.
Yeah, no, this is another great question. You see, it interlinks with everything that we have said so far, right? So if life is a story that we are telling ourselves, who likes boring stories? No one. People, we all like interesting stories. Okay?
Yeah.
So when we travel to a new place, we find new people, we find new food, we find new culture, we find new places to visit, new history to learn. All that is adding more colors to our story. All that is enriching our story. And the other thing is, when we go travel, we find out that humans are same everywhere. We all have same problems, we all have same hopes and dreams, but we tend to think, my life is so unique, my problems are so unique, nobody can solve them. But when we travel, we say, oh, okay, so in Philippines, they do this, they have the same problem, but they solve it in a different same problem, but they solve it in a different way. Awesome. If I go to Spain, and then now you are changing the way that you're thinking about your life or problems or solutions, and you say, okay, there are an infinite number of ways to tackle a particular problem, because I have seen it, I've experienced it, I know that humans across the world have done it this way, so now I should be able to do it that way as well. So you are basically unlocking yourself from the jail of your own thoughts, on your own limited view of the world. In the beginning of the interview, you said that we start imagining things that are around us, and we don't think anything else is possible outside of that boundary.
Yeah.
If we travel to a new place, those boundaries are shattered.
Yes. 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 So it is important to travel. Just travel, guys. Okay. I love it. What is the fastest and sure short way to becoming a millionaire?
So once again, first of all, try to define what is your definition of becoming a millionaire. Maybe, again, people think having $1 million in the bank is being a millionaire. But if you um, try to visit a Buddhist monastery, okay, talk to a monk, and you will feel that they radiate more light than a millionaire. Like, they are happier than a multimillionaire. So try to define what is being a millionaire for you. For example, for me, if I had no money whatsoever, I have my family, I have my sons, and I get to visit a mountain, and just experience peace in a nature environment. That's much more valuable than anything else. Now, that being said, like, earlier part of my life, I didn't think that way, but now I think that way, right? So the idea is that we all have this notion of, what will I do when I have $1 million? But again, most people have no clarity on that.
Mhm.
$1 million is not going to give you anything other than the ability to experience something.
Oh, wow, you put it in the simplest and most remarkable way, because if you are not content when you have $1 billion, you're not gonna have that inner peace. And what you said hits that bull's eye. You're actually just after that feeling. And what is that feeling? Are you are you free from something? Is it freedom that you're looking at? Freedom from people around chasing you for, your debts and whatnot. Truly, if people do not understand this, they will continue to be in this rat race.
Right, correct,
Right?
correct.
But then the world is, I feel, as what I've shared with the previous guest, I think the world is awakening, surely, slowly but surely, because
Yeah,
we cannot continue. We cannot continue this way. Gone are the days where you have to separate work, and then have the time to go for vacation. And if I do this, then only I can get this. If I do this, then only I can. Because truly, the secret is you can have it all. You can. You actually can. So
yeah,
I think understanding, and then that starts with yourself.
exactly,
I
exactly.
this is at least that is from my experience.
Yeah, 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 absolutely.
So Manuj, what is next for you?
The thing is, like, my passion is empowering people, using technology to change people's lives, businesses, create wealth, create abundance. And we are just at the beginning of a major shift happening with AI. I'll share a couple of statistics with you, and these numbers are not from, or these quotations are not from me, but very smart people, much more successful than I am. So, the CEO of IBM is one of the largest companies in the world. He has said that AI is going to add about $10 trillion to the world economy by 2030. So 10 trillion
Wow,
in
that's
the
like
next.
6 years from now.
Correct, correct. Yeah. And by the way, $10 trillion in revenue, that is revenue, which means that'll be $100 trillion wealth.
Whoa, whoa,
Okay.
whoa! Break it down. Okay, okay.
Okay.
I come from an accounting background, so I am interested in numbers. Always have, always will be. Please break it down for
Well,
us.
so the breakdown is very simple. See, today the world GDP is $100 trillion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So GDP is basically the number of people multiplied by average productivity.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we work 8 hours a day, how much do we produce? Now with AI, that is going to get multiplied many times over.
Okay, I see where this is going. Wow. Wow. Okay.
So
Okay.
so to answer your question, what is next for me? Basically, just sharing this and empowering people on how to use AI to ride this wave. There will be more billionaires made in this next 6 years than any time in human history.
Okay. Okay. I'm in the bandwagon. Count me in. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So I'm going to pivot to a self worth question, because my podcast talks a lot about self worth. So the question for you, Manuj: self discovery often involves confronting our fears and vulnerabilities. How can individuals embrace these aspects of themselves to facilitate personal growth?
Go back to your story. A lot of people don't understand that our life so far is a series of stories that have happened. Now,
Mm.
the fact that you are there alive on this planet, a miracle already. But the point is that we tend to forget, because we all have problems. We give more importance to those problems, and we tend to forget what have we done in the past to get here. So here is another framework I'll give you, and a trick with the AI. There's a framework called Hero's Journey. Okay, Hero's Journey is a story writing framework, and any major movie, a Hollywood movie, or any kind of movie you will watch, any kind of famous story you have read, it's based on this Hero's Journey framework. And it starts with, like, a normal person going about their day, and something happens in their life which calls them for an adventure. and they go on an adventure. They run into problems, they find a mentor, the mentor tells them what to do, then they fight their battles and they rediscover themselves, their self-worth, and then they get transformed and come back home. So that is a general overview of the hero's journey. The interesting part is every life actually matches this hero's journey.
Exactly.
Okay.
I had that. Yeah, when you were talking about it, I was like, yeah, exactly. That's my
Yeah.
journey too.
Yeah.
And all the
So,
movies, if not all.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So here is another way that you can use this. Go to ChatGPT, enter a little bit of information about your major life events so far, and go as far back as possible, and just say, okay, in 1993 I passed high school, 1996 I passed this. I was about to fail, but I found computers, programming. I started working in that. I came to Canada. Just a few facts, right? And then say, write me my story using the hero's journey framework. Okay.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
It's like not, I was about to say predetermining, but just have that image in your head and then again change it if you don't like that ending.
Exactly. So what I described was, life is a story that we tell ourselves. What we want to achieve is in the future. So you can get AI to write a future story. And what I just described is use AI to write your past story. So it's basically just the same thing, but you are conditioning your mind to think in a different storyline rather than your current storyline.
I love it. I love it. Yes. 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 Wow. Okay. Thank you for that, Manuj. That was mind blowing. It's not, you can, if you cannot think of it yourself, ask for help. And if you are shy enough to ask for help from people around you, you don't want to go to therapy, you can go to technology, which is at your disposal. You have a mobile phone, just go type in ChatGPT.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
you can get into your self-help, right? You don't have the money to buy books or whatnot, but you have a cell phone. I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know what's the statistic of people having cell phone, but I think it's smart. Um, at least a smartphone, so we can all reach that chat GPT. Okay, thank you, Manuj. So what is your heart's greatest wish?
My heart's greatest wish is that everybody actually get to realize their full potential. I think human beings have a huge potential, but we limit it because of how society has been structured. But I hope with these things that I just described and technology is becoming more helpful, people wakening up, this planet will be quite different in few years. 10 years, maybe 50 years, maybe 100 years. But I think it will be. We are getting there slowly.
Yes, yes. Do you have a mantra that you live by?
My mantra is, it is what it is. Just
Wow.
just yeah.
Yes. Yes, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't know if that's, is that the Taoism?
Yeah, it's similar philosophy,
Somehow,
right?
right?
Yeah,
Similar,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It is what it is.
yeah.
Is there
Stoicism,
anything?
yeah, stoicism.
Yeah,
It's like,
stoicism. Yeah, stoicism, Tao Te Ching. Yes. What is there anything that keeps you up at night, or do you sleep well?
I mean, I won't say that I don't have worries, or I don't have problems. Just like any human being, I have problems, and yes, some days are very tough. But the thing is, you need to just go through those emotions. That's part of the journey. That's part of the life experience.
It is what it is. If you could create a quote right now, Manuj, for you to leave to the audience listening and the world as your legacy, what would it be?
Don't count dollars and cents in your account. Count the experiences and the relationships that you build.
Wow. Wow. I've been contemplating to make some travel, to do some travels. And I was like, of course, because I'm transitioning out to my own thing, that is that, nervousness. How am I resources enough? And now talking to you, we had one question, why is travel important? And then you said, do not count the dollars and cents in your bank account. Instead, weigh the relationship that you will build because that's going to be the long-term investment and you're going to get
Mhm.
the return. Beautiful, Manuj. Thank you. That's confirmation from universe for me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
You should book the tickets now.
Exactly. In fact, I will
Yeah.
after this interview.
And then write a story of how it will feel like when you go on vacation.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Okay, Manoj, how can people reach out to you?
Yeah, you can go to my website, manujaggarwal.com, or find me on LinkedIn. I
Mm-hmm.
know my name is a little bit hard to spell, but just Google my name or go to my company website, petranoodle.com, whatever is easier.
Okay. Okay. And all of these are in LinkedIn, right? I've connected to you
Yeah.
via LinkedIn.
Uh-huh.
So yes, yes. Okay. So well, there you have it, guys. You heard it from the man himself. Before we close off, personally, Manuj, I would like to thank the work that you're doing for the world and for advancing every step of the way, despite the challenges you face, creating trails for those that will come after you. This has been that one podcast with that controversial name, You're Worthless. Read that again. The juxtaposition of your very soul. If you find yourself thinking that you are worthless, you're not alone. But more importantly, ask yourself a level deeper. If I am worthless, then why the heck am I here? It is because your soul have chosen to be here energetically, all the way from the ethers. And for that reason itself, you are worthy and you are enough. This has been Nick Nieras, your host, and Manuj Aggarwal, signing off. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.